I'm not gonna lie, this is not one of my proudest videos that I've had to make. But I failed. And I figured for the sake of being transparent and open with you guys, because this channel has always been about learning and growing, I'll tell you guys the story of why I failed and what happened. All right, first we gotta change these lights. These lights don't fit the mood. I need to change these colors, something that probably fit this a little better. That's good. Yeah, that fits more with failure, the red. So let's just go into it. I don't actually have the paper with me because it's in my other car. I have my work car with me, but I'd be holding up this beautiful piece of paper that says notice of disapproval, I think is what it said. But basically, I failed my CFI check ride on the first take. And I'm very frustrated with myself because it was such a dumb way to fail a check ride, but also I was doing so good on that check ride. So it's frustrating, but also I think it's important because it taught me a lot of things, and I think it also reinforced something I'm never gonna forget. So let's just kind of go through the timeline of what happened. I had my check ride scheduled for March 21st. It was a Tuesday. I'd been training for months, was ready. I'd studied my absolute butt off in the oral portion with my lesson plans and stuff like that. I was ready. I was so ready for this check ride. 1 week before my check ride, my grandpa passed away. And my grandpa was the biggest inspiration in why I started to do flight training. He's the reason I was financially able to do flight training. Just for sake of transparency, I paid for my private training all by myself. My grandparents gifted my instrument training. They paid for it in full, the instrument training. And then I made a deal with them for my commercial and CFI training, and then multi-engine, whenever that comes, to essentially have a loan from them with no interest. And with the expectation, like if whatever I didn't pay off or I decide not to pay it off would just come out of my inheritance. So I deeply admire and respect my grandpa because he allowed me to do what I wanted to do and pursue this dream of aviation. So I would not be here if it weren't for him. So for that, I'm eternally grateful. So to lose my grandpa 1 week before my check ride it was tough. It was real tough. And I didn't want to cancel my check ride. I honestly didn't want to cancel it or move it because I was ready. I was so ready to do this check ride, so ready to get it over with and get done and start instructing. Because I've been dreaming about this for years, months even, I said that backwards. And lo and behold, because of just the way scheduling worked out, my grandpa's funeral was on Monday, the 20th. And I went to my check ride, my CFI check ride on the 21st. So funeral went fine. Check ride was at 9 a.m. in Florence, South Carolina on Tuesday. I'm not gonna say his name, but you guys, if you know who he is, you probably know the DP I took my check ride with. First of all, massive props to this DP, very fair and great guy. But that's not the point of this video. So slept not great Monday night going into Tuesday, and left from Greenville to fly down to Florence at the butt crack of dawn to get there at 9 a.m. Going to the check ride, going to the oral, absolutely slaughter this oral. This DP made multiple comments that it was evident that I had studied, so that was really cool and really encouraging. Thought I did a great job. There was a couple things I could have definitely done better, but he said overall, it did a great job. So that was super encouraging. Was ready to go to the flight portion. We start going to the flight portion, do our pre-flight, and then coming out of the ramp and taxiing out, he wanted me to teach him taxiing. So it was a little nerve-wracking for me. I'd never been on the ground at Florence before, so I'm trying to learn and navigate my way with my airport diagram, figure out what the instructions were, towers giving me instructions. So end up taxiing out to the runway, do our run-up, give him my briefing, all that kind of good stuff, and he asked me to show him a soft field takeoff. Explain it and get ready to take off. Start the takeoff roll, and as I started to pull back, I realized one, I'd forgotten to put flaps in for the soft field takeoff. So that was already got into my mind mentally and was like, crap, I'm off to a really bad start. I told him that I tried to play it off of like, hey, that was a mistake, but hey, CFIs aren't perfect. but this is a cool learning opportunity. So kind of tried to play it off that and just use it as a learning opportunity. Continued flying out, we were supposed to go northbound, and next he wanted to see slow flight. So configure, explain, do slow flight, and then after that he wanted to see a power off stall. And so I go into the power off stall. Thinking mentally I'm like, I feel like this is going well. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. And then as I finish that power off stall, he goes, all right, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you forgot to do one thing twice. It's very important. And that was clearing turns. I totally forgot to do clearing turns on both of those maneuvers. So unfortunately that resulted in an automatic bust on the check ride. But he gave me the option. He's like, I'll give you an option. We can cut it right now and you can come back and do the whole thing, or we can keep going and you can come back and make up whatever you miss. And I was like, I'm determined. I have studied and prepared. I'm not gonna let that all just completely go to waste. Let's keep going. So I refocused up, mentally got in, and just absolutely killed the rest of the check ride. Passed the rest with flying colors. So all that to say, I busted on a CFI check ride because I forgot to do clearing turns. Technically, he said he wasn't even gonna fail me for the soft field mistake, but the 2 clearing turns were what failed me. So super discouraged, super frustrating. I ended up coming back down this past Wednesday, the 28th, and retested with him, did those maneuvers, obviously with clearing turns, and passed. So I am officially a CFI. I'm a certified flight instructor. I passed, but with that little scar of frustration that I failed the first time because I didn't do clearing turns. Now, why am I telling you guys this? One, it's super awkward. I could keep this hidden and never tell anyone I failed my CFI check ride. But also the flight school that I go to would probably let y'all know because they've been giving me a bunch of crap about it for the past week or so, which rightfully so, I deserve it. But I feel like this has also taught me an important lesson. It's also a good thing. Now, you're probably like, you failed. Why is that a good thing? Let me explain. I think it's a good thing because one, I'm never ever gonna forget clearing turns ever again now. And when I start teaching students, I'm gonna engrave that in their brain, clearing turns before every single maneuver. Now, I think that's the good side of it. Let's talk about maybe why this happened and maybe like some things we can take away from it. One, losing my grandpa a week before my check ride was not easy. And did that play into my mental state and my emotions going into this check ride? Absolutely. I had all the pressure in the world. Everyone at my grandpa's funeral knows I'm a pilot, knows I've been training, and every single person came up to me the day before and said, good luck tomorrow, you're gonna do it, you're gonna make him proud. And I had that on my mind, my mentality of I have to make my grandpa proud and I need to do this. So was that stress and a lot of anxiety on my mind? Absolutely. Did I not get probably the greatest amount of sleep? I work night side. At the job, I work full time. I work as a news photographer right now before I start instructing full time. And I work 2:30 to 11 p.m. So normally my sleep schedule, I normally go to bed around midnight to 1 a.m. So to flip and try to wake up at, we left here in Greenville by about 6:30, 7 a.m. to be at the airport by 6 a.m. on a, night I normally go to bed around midnight. I was tired. That definitely could have played a factor into it too. And then all that combined together for the frustration and just not being able to think straight and getting overwhelmed ultimately led to me just forgetting to do clearing turns. So my takeaway from this, and I guess the lesson for everyone who's watching this, is that's why we have those checklists of I'm safe and thinking about your mental state as a pilot. Mentally, I was stressed. I had a lot on my mind because of my grandpa passing away, and I really wanted to show everyone that I could do it, and I wanted to make him proud. That definitely played a fact. So that's, mentally, that plays into that stress, the S, and I'm safe. Emotion, that E, emotionally, I was going through a lot. I was really hurt that my grandpa had died a week before. I was really hoping that he was gonna make it to see me pass my CFI check ride, and it just didn't happen. So in hindsight, 2020, do I regret not pushing my check ride back? No. Am I still frustrated I didn't pass? Absolutely, the first time. But I think it happened for a reason to teach me a good lesson. And I think me being able to share that lesson with you guys can help you guys learn and maybe not make the same mistake. That's essentially what happened. That's why I failed my check ride. I'm not gonna let this discourage me. I still feel confident in my instructing abilities, and the DP even said that I teach very well. So that was a very good encouragement and a good mental booster, I guess you could say. For those of you who have failed a check ride, don't let it ever discourage you. You can still be a great pilot and still be a great instructor. Failure doesn't define you. We're human. We're gonna make mistakes. No one expects us ever to be 100% perfect. Granted, that is a stupid thing to fail a check ride on, but I think, like I said, it's an important lesson. I think it's something that I'm gonna carry with me for the rest of my aviation career, and it's gonna help me engrave that into all my students to never make that same mistake. So yeah, that's the story of how I failed my CFI check ride. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're gonna continue to make CFI training videos, and I'm gonna have more videos to help you guys train and become better pilots, but hopefully in the future, maybe you'll see some videos inside the cockpit while I'm instructing, because I really like seeing those videos kind of in the cockpit with students, giving a piece or a taste of what you can expect whenever you're training with me or another CFI. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you guys have had a similar experience or anything else you wanna share, similar experience-wise, be sure to leave them in the comments. I'd love to read them. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.